Hey, it's Ricardo and I'm playing Subnautica. Yes, a game I got on Steam a while ago and I've been itching to play it. So in some of the videos we've gone through some of the elementary steps and a bit of orientation of what to do when first coming onto the game. So I thought I'd start again. There's been a Subnautica update as well. I think it's looking a little bit more refined, a little bit more fresh. And I like that with some of these updates of the games. We just breathe a fresh breath of air, no pun intended, back into the game. So what I'm currently doing is I'm off and I'm collecting materials. So I'm really early on in the game. I've got a standard oxygen tank. I haven't got the scanner yet. I'm just picking up stuff off the cave floors. I'm hitting limestone outcrops and I'm going through the elementary stuff of just making lubricant, making latex, getting some food and getting some water as well. You know, and also making lubricant. Now with all this, what you do is you go over there, you collect all these items, they form a recipe, you apply those recipes to your fabricator, which is one of the only things that is working in the escape pod, well, with the exception of the storage container, which, let's face it, that doesn't do an awful lot other than store stuff. And I'm applying all the items that I've got into these recipes and getting bigger items. So, if you haven't already done so, do me a favour and click the like and subscribe button. And also look out that notification icon as well, because that'll let you know when I'm putting more videos of Subnautica, Elite Dangerous, There Are Billions, and the like, and other games that I play on YouTube. So here we are we're collecting items like bladderfish. If you can catch them, and they're sneaky little swines, these bladderfish, you can make a few things with them. An inflatable bladder, a buoyancy aid, or you can use them to refine water, or you can eat them. So quite a versatile creature that you find swimming around, and they are literally everywhere. Some good advice is to start making your water supply for the next day in advance and starting to store that, because you do tend to dehydrate quite quickly, which, you know, is ironic. And a lot of people who swim in real life say this, you know, you're surrounded by water, how can you possibly be thirsty? But hydration is the key, and this game is no different, along with food as well. So it's off to the old fabricator, and you can see I have got some bladderfish already in my inventory, and I'm making up normal filtered water. Now filtered water is great, it's all well and good, and it's readily available by getting the bladderfish. However, getting filtered water is one thing, but getting the other type of water that you use with bleach and salt, distilled water, that gives you more water for the buck, but it is slightly more complicated to make. Anyway, keeping an eye on your inventory as well, make sure to drop off an awful lot of the items back at your escape pod in the storage container. Stay away from this thing here. Look, you got a bit of burniness stuff. So all this burny stuff is coming from an underground geyser or volcano, and you will incur a bit of damage, so keep an eye on that. So I'm on a huge sort of splurge to get bladderfish. I need to make more water. I also need to make some food as well, because you can see from the apple icon in orange, which is the middle of the three icons on the left hand side, that I'm starting to run out of energy, out of food, and I'm going to need to make some. Now, to make cured food, you're going to need salt, okay, which is not a problem. Salt is laying around everywhere, and we'll see some salt a little bit later on. But just to cook food and eat it on the fly without storing it, then pick the fish up and take it to the fabricator. The fabricator is then going to take all the bones and the skins and the nastiness out of it, and then you can eat it. But don't leave it laying around in your inventory too long, because it's just going to go off, it's going to get rotten, and then you're going to do yourself more harm than good. You'll start decreasing your health by eating rotten food, as you would in real life. Hey, I like this game. This game is good so far. Alright, and so also you're going to find laying around is some of these items, titanium items, or bits of the shit that's fallen off, that old metal salvage. These can be converted into titanium or raw titanium, which can then be used to make other items at the old fabricator. Let's get back into that escape pod. So, over to the fabricator, and let's see what we can build. So straight away you can make items and materials. I can make an air bladder if I had silicon rubber and a bladderfish. Don't don't want one of those just yet. I can make water, and I can cook food. So my food is running out, like I mentioned. I'm going to use the fabricator to prepare the fish, so I can, once I've got them in my inventory, I can eat them. Like I say, I can't cure them yet, because as a result of this, I need salt, and I haven't picked up any salt as yet. So let's prepare some fish. So the replicator as well, and once after you've gone and collected more items, you're presented with the option to have a scanner. Having a battery and titanium lets you have perhaps one of the most important tools in the entire game. This scanner, you can scan items to get blueprints, you can scan the indigenous life forms that are around to get more information on them and build up your codex. The scanner, I think, really important. Really, really important. And should be one of the first things that you go out and attempt. I'll say attempt, because it's not easy to find all these items. Attempt to go and get. So, getting the items for a battery, pretty straightforward. Getting the items, like titanium, I say that's laying around everywhere. So more use of the fabricator. As you can see, basic materials. I can make lubricant. I can make glass. I can make latex. All these items are going to stand in their own state when I start making things like knives, repair tools, other things like that. So let's break down the materials and start making some equipment. So there you go, fins. Good bit of the use of the lubricant and the creep vine there. And then we're going to cook some food. And then we've got more food prepared. I can go into my inventory and start eating that and recharge my food stores. Always important to get some more water. I think since the last update, water's been made readily available and doesn't deplete as much as what you think it was. Playing it just even last week, I found that water was reducing quite quickly, and I was constantly coming back and forth, getting water. I thought, well, come on, this is just not on. So I'm glad they've tweaked it, if they have indeed tweaked it. So there I'm making silicon rubber. I'm creating titanium. I've got my scanner. I'm going to start eating some of this fish. Not only freeing up space in my inventory, but also to replenish my food stores. So let's see what we got over in our storage container. Okay then, so there's loads of water. Okay, water. We've got the food that was provided to us at the beginning of the game. I've got my med kit there as well. I've got some latex. I've got some titanium bars or titanium ingots. Now you can make an ingot with 10 items of titanium, and that once you make an ingot, obviously that condenses it all down, and you can free up additional spaces in your storage. So moving on, let's do a bit more of underwater exploration. Now, as I mentioned before, with regards to food, you can pick up salt on the seafloor. It looks a little bit like quartz. Well, there you go. So getting salt will allow you to make certain items, right? Not only preserve that food, but even though I'm on a bit of a hunt for some fish, I need some more food for back at the base, and I'm going to cure it using the replicator or fabricator and the salt. Always keep an eye on your oxygen, right? Oxygen is key. Right, I'm still running on a standard tank. Though I've got enough titanium, I'll be able to go back in now and make a tank that's going to give me a little bit more air. Okay, and then as I progress through the game and start progressing a bit further in, I'm going to be able to get a more advanced tank that's going to allow me to stay underwater a little bit longer. And on the way back, see there's more salt on the floor. I need some more quartz though. Salt's all well and good. And I'm going to take this, but I do need quartz. Now these are small deposits. You can find larger deposits of these items, but with that you need a different tool to start to mine them. You can find some quite large outcrops of quartz and salt laying around, but you can't just have a go at those. You need a different tool. So I'm going to take some of this food back as well and drop off some more materials to the escape pod, and you'll become aware that this is a very common task to do, at least in the early stages of the game while you're building up all your inventory of items and all your stock. So you see I can make a battery there as well. I've got some quartz there. I can make some glass. And I can cure some food as well. So I'm going to cure some of these hoverfish with the salt deposits. And that'll allow me to store it later on. So, stocking up on the food. I was quite amazed how immersed I started to get within this game. And it's a bit of a breakaway from the normal games that I've been playing. I either like games that have got instant gratification in them, like, here's my shotgun, let's go and blow some aliens away. Or it's a game such as Elite Dangerous where I've got an awful lot of time on my hands where I can get involved and immersed in it. But this sort of recipe making at the moment I'm finding quite relaxing and a bit turn your brain off. It's a different problem to try and solve. And so far I've made a flashlight, I've made a knife, and with that I can start to mine and see other materials as I move through the environment. Obviously with the flashlight it's dark, that's not going to hamper me too much because I can just turn the lights on. With a item like the knife, I can start to take samples of things like, I don't know, coral. As you can see, I just unlocked a blueprint now for a high capacity air tank that will allow me to stay underwater for a hell of a long time. At the moment, standard tank, I've got about a minute, and the advanced tank does need a few items. It needs things like silver. You need things like another standard tank. And the list is all listed there once you get to the fabricator as well. And this table coral, with the knife, you can hack it down and take a sample. Also, the knife can be used to defend yourself against some of the beasties that are wandering around. Be fair, it's going to get a little bit nasty when you start engaging them. This is their environment. You are an alien in their environment, although it may seem the other way around. Picking up cave sulfur from these deposits as well is quite good and unlocks another tree of recipes and development from the fabricator. I'm not going to start picking up things like alien eggs yet. I have no idea yet what they do, and when I do, I'll cover them in another video. But as it is, this is where we are. I'll go back up and get some more air. Even with this standard tank, it's okay. It's certainly an advancement over your own lungs. I really want that other tank. I really do need that other tank. And I'm going to go all out now to try and look for some of those other items. See, with cave sulfur I can make a flare. Well, I'm not really in the market for a flare at the moment, so I'll get all that stored and squared away. Whether that be in the open storage container, or whether I'll finally get round to dropping off the other floating storage container that I can put outside of this habitation. As you've probably noticed, I still haven't repaired the escape pod yet. And for that, I'm going to need a repair tool. And that repair tool is going to need a certain set of items, which I'm going to try and attempt to find now. Once you repair the item, you can get access to the radio. There's no smoke inside. It looks better. It's repaired. It's on auxiliary power. And that's what we're going to be going after very shortly. This game is great. It's a very nice, colourful palette. I didn't find it a problem not finding some of the materials. A lot of them are out there. You just got to keep looking. Keep your eye out. You got to keep your eye on your oxygen. You got to keep an eye on the environment, like with there any nasties knocking around, like any fish that are going to bite you because you've impacted their territory. And also it makes it obviously a bit more difficult when you're trying to swim around in the dark. That being, not only precarious because you can't see the other things coming, but you can't find anything. And that light is great, but I think you really need high beams as well. Now when you're walking around or swimming around outside in the environment, keep the scanner handy. The scanner is going to be a handy old tool when scanning parts of this environment. This environment and all the wreckage that you find on the sea floor is going to provide you with things like blueprints for laser cutters, blueprints for an underwater mobility device, or a mobile center for vehicles, or laser cutters or beacons. So when you see something out there that's a bit out of the orientation, you think, right, okay, I'll go over there with a scanner, give it a bit of a scan, you know, and basically take things from there. And those blueprints will accrue to the point when you reach a certain amount of blueprints you need for that recipe. And once you've got that, you can then create it, providing you have the materials for that particular item. Now, I've got a repair tool. Thank you very much. And with that repair tool, I can start to repair this escape pod. Finally, the lights will come on. Things will stop sparking, which can be quite irritating, really. You know, and I'll actually get a sense of achievement with the game. So, things that aren't working. The radio. Yes, you can repair the radio. And clicking the old repair button, away you go. And there it is. Boom, repaired. Thank you very much. And you can play a message as well. And the message basically states, yes, okay, we've got your distress signal. Even though I've been playing for the best part of 20 minutes. And we've got like hours upon hours upon hours before help gets to you. So basically, get on with it and get surviving. So that's the name of the game. Get on and get surviving. Okay, back to the repair tool and to this power box here. So we're going to repair that. All bits of wire start going back into their respective connectors, and there you go. LifePod secondary systems online and running full environment diagnostics, and you get a bit of geological data because it scans the environment as well. So there you have it. Usage of the repair tool. Fab. So there you go. Thanks for watching this video, a short video on Subnautica. As you can see, we went round, we did some collecting of materials, we built some items like the scanner, the knife, the repair tool, and also, as you can see in full use there, the torch. I mean, the knife, about as good as a fart in an astronaut suit at the moment. I need something a little bit more sophisticated to battle off even the smallest of items. And when you get attacked by the fish, you can see their ability to cause a lot of damage is quite prevalent. Anyway, I've been Ricardo. This has been Subnautica. Check back for more videos in this Subnautica series. More are on their way. And check out more for more games such as Elite Dangerous, They Are Billions, and Freelancer, a game from retro heaven. See you soon, and swim safe.